And I saw this woman's story and I said, wait a motherfucking second. Now, let me give content and trigger warnings here, but let me be clear. This lady survives, okay? She survives. But the way that she tells her story, if I got misty, which I just did at the busted wheelchair story, the airplanes busting up wheelchair users' mobility devices. Oh, I can tell you guys straight up, I did cry when I listened to this lady's story. And the reason I included it in tonight's show is because she self-identifies as disabled. She says that she has several health conditions that she does not name. But again, she didn't have to name her diagnoses for me to believe that she's disabled. And some would be like, well, and so here's the, let me give you the premise. So we're about to go to Mississippi, okay? And this woman was working at one of the dollar stores. I can't remember if it's Dollar Tree, Dollar General. She's about to specify it in the video. She's training. She's going to tell the whole story. So long story short, she gets attacked. Okay. She gets attacked by a customer on the job. A man attacks her on the job. Her coworkers and other customers stand around and watch her get attacked. And in fact, her employer, the company that she just started to work for, according to her, acted cagey when it came to providing surveillance video evidence of her assault. And I just wanted to feature her story because, again, she identifies as disabled. She is obviously a Black woman. But the way that gender-based violence can intersect with those identities, right? Just because, right? Just because you stand in all of those identities, just by you existing, makes you at a higher risk of this kind of random violence. And in this case, it happened to be gender-based violence, though not intimate partner violence. These people did not know each other. This woman says she does not know this man. But she does name him in the video because she wants everybody to know who the fuck attacked her and what exactly happened. So let's go to the tape. And again, trigger warning, content warning for the way that she describes what the incident that happened to her. But she's going to give some lead up. Okay, she's going to talk about how she even got the job, why she had to go get this fucking job, and then what happened as she was training on the job, and then the assault. Let's take a listen.
3 weeks ago, I started working at Dollar General in Laura, Mississippi on Susan B. Ruffin. I started working on this job. Good morning, love. Please share this live and tag people if you can. I started working on this job as a key holder when I first started. When I first went into the job, they had so much going on, y'all, for us corporate problems and management. It was a wreck. So I didn't get proper training. Good morning, Key. Please share this live and tag people. So I didn't get any proper training from the beginning. But me being me, I can learn anything that you're willing to teach me, for one. So I did take this position. I did take the job because I needed the job. I don't supposed to be working because of other health conditions that I have. But at this point in time, I had no choice but to go try to find me a job. So that's what I did. Okay. As I'm working on this job, like I said, the management is horrible. I won't speak of the names or anything yet until I finish the whole story. Okay. On July the 12th, I won't forget the date nor the time because, like I said, y'all may be asleep, but I haven't slept since then. Excuse me, I may start shaking, like I said, or crying because I do have anxiety problems and I do get upset. But I'm going to tell my story today. On July the 12th, while I was at work, I came off a break and the store was packed full of people. When I came off break, one of the managers was outside the store and asked to speak to me. So I went outside and she was discussing something with me that was going on with her and management. Her problems with management. Okay. While I was listening to her and her problems with management, the other manager, assistant manager, or key holder, whichever one position that she hold, she was inside the store running the cash register. Remind you, I had just came off a break. Okay. She came outside of the store and she had like 3 sets of keys in her hand. When she had the keys in her hand, it was a man at the ice machine waiting on ice. Okay. She instructed me. She turned around and she asked me, "Hey, Renee, are you on break?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm on break." She said, "Okay, fine. You need to go inside and get on the register." I said, "Okay, yes, ma'am. No problem. I will." Okay. As I went inside to get on the register to help the other customers, I went back and I asked her what was her numbers because I wasn't able to log in on the register. As I proceeded to go back and ask her what was her numbers, I seen that she was irritated and frustrated and upset. She threw the keys in my hand and told me, "Here, don't worry about it. You handle this man. You go handle the ice. I go back in the store and get back on." Started working on this job as a key holder when I first started. When I first went into the job, they had so much going on, y'all. For us, corporate problems and management, it was a wreck. So I didn't get proper training. Good morning, Key. Please share this live and
Oh,
tell
that's
your
the
people.
same video.
So I didn't get any proper training from the beginning. But me being me,
Isn't that the same video?
No, that's
Like that?
part two.
Okay, go ahead.
I can learn anything that you're willing to teach me, for one. So I did take this position. I did take the job because I needed the job.
No, this is
I
the same
don't supposed to
video.
be working because of other health
I'm
conditions that I
sorry.
Fast
Like,
have.
forwarded.
But at
well,
this
yeah,
point in
fast
time,
forward
the
it
position that she hold, she was inside the store running the cash register.
a
Remind
little
you,
bit
I had
more.
just came, and I'm like, I don't know which key it is to
Okay,
unlock the
back it up
machine.
like
You know what
10
I'm saying? I'm
seconds.
new. Told me, "Here, don't worry about it. You handle this man. You go handle the ice. I go back in the store and get back on the register." Okay. She threw the set of keys in my hand. Remind you, this is like 3 different set of keys, y'all. Okay. I proceeded to the ice machine. I went to the ice machine and I'm trying the locks or whatever to unlock the machine. And I'm like, I don't know which key it is to unlock the machine. You know what I'm saying? I'm new. So I don't know which key it is. The customer that was waiting on the ice started getting aggravated. Okay. He was already upset. Me not knowing that him and the manager that was inside had already had confrontation. They had already had a problem. They had already got into it or whatever had already went on in the store. So the man was already pissed off. Mind you, I had no problem with this. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I just came off a break. So when she threw the keys in my hand, I went to the ice machine and I proceeded to try to unlock the ice machine. I couldn't unlock the ice machine because, like I said, it was 1,000 keys on there. I didn't know which key it was. Okay? The man started yelling at me, telling me, "Adios. You need to get the fuck back in the motherfucking store. If you don't know what the fuck you doing, you need to take your fat ass back in the motherfucking store. If you don't know what the fuck you doing, seem like you don't even need to be motherfucking working here." I'm like, "Sir, I'm new. Don't talk to me like that while I'm trying to help assist you. I'm new. I don't know which key it is. I'm sorry, but I don't. Don't talk to me like that. You're not going to disrespect me and then expect me to help you." So I turned around. While me and him was arguing, he pushed me and then punched me. Me? I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend myself. Man or woman, I'm going to defend myself. I've been with men for domestic violence. I've been through domestic. Once I learned how to fight for myself, I told myself I would never let nobody else put their hand on me, period. I don't care what's going on. I taught myself to defend for myself. So this man pushed me. I did punch him back. Yes, I did. Once I punched him back, he pushed me on the ground beside the ice machine and started stomping me with his steel-toe boots. Now, mind you, the key holder that was working there, the manager that was working there, the people that was there, everybody was outside the store, y'all, and they stood there and watched this man stomp me with his steel-toe boots until he wouldn't stop. Until I can finally get him off of me. Look at my body, my legs. Look at my legs. My legs, my face is swollen. And I got to explain this to my child. But like I said, I defended myself because that's what I was taught to do. Not only that, the employees didn't help. Then nobody helped. They stood there because his name is Desmond Pollard. Yes, Desmond Pollard, Big Des. Everybody scared of Big Des, whoever he is. Yes, I know him because I'm from Kingston. He's from Kingston. That's the only way I know of him. I've never disrespected him. I've never had no problems with him. However, that's why they say they didn't step in it, because it was Big Desmond. That's why, Big Desmond Pollard. Okay, the thing about it is, didn't nobody even stop to call the police. I had to call the police myself. After I called my mama and them to come help me. Mind you, I have seizures. I was supposed to be working, but I was trying because I had to provide for my child. But mind you, I don't supposed to work at all, but I was trying because I had to provide for my child. And this man stomped me to death over a bag of ice, and the employees stood there. They stood there. And now that I'm trying to get the police involved, don't nobody want to say nothing. Don't nobody want to say nothing about the management now. Don't nobody know who the manager is now. Don't nobody know who the key holder is on duty now. Don't nobody know nothing. They didn't even want to give them the tape. They didn't even want to let the officer watch the tape. But mind you, though, that's not the kin part. That's not what hurts me. What hurts me is because I'm loyal. If you know me, I'm loyal. Anything I do, I take to pleasure. Anywhere I work, I take to pleasure. Do you hear me? That's what takes the pleasure. What takes the cake is, it was a person in the store the day before, stealing beer. And I risked my life and went out there and got their stuff. I risked my life and went out there and defended Dollar General. Tiny Mo, ask Tiny Mo, she was there. I defended that store, and I ain't been there no more than 3 weeks. I defended y'all, but y'all couldn't defend me. Y'all couldn't defend me. Are you serious? Now don't nobody know nothing. Now don't nobody want to say nothing. Then that's the only thing y'all can say is because, oh, it was Desmond Pollard. I don't care who it was. I would never sit and let no man beat on a woman. I would never sit and watch nothing like that happen and then act like I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. But I'm going to tell you something. I got to laugh today because I had to get it off my chest. I had to get it off my chest because I haven't slept. Okay, close the door, baby. Mama fine, baby. I'm okay. Close the door, baby. Close the door. And see, that's why I came outside, because I knew my baby was going to wake up and she was going to ask me, am I okay? Because I've been breaking down in front of my child, y'all, because I'm trying. And the way this store really did that, like y'all really sat there and watched that man fight me over a bag of ice when the lady threw the situation on me. The other manager threw it on me. You knew you had confrontation with him in the store. Why you didn't tell him to leave from the jump? Why you didn't stop the situation then before it even escalated? Instead of you throwing the keys in my hand out of here, you handle this. Why would you even do that? That shouldn't have even been done. But the thing about it is that none of y'all call the police. Then none of y'all say, hey, you okay? Then none of y'all do none of that. But y'all want to ask me, am I going to be able to come back to work? Am I going to be able to come back to work? Are you serious? Are you serious? But you know what? Like I said, I'm going to talk to somebody and I'm going to get justice. I'm going to file my police report because I don't want to handle it my way because I got a child to take care of. But I promise you, that man now, baby, you did something to me, child. You brought a part out in me that has been gone for a while. Like I said, I've been through domestic violence, but I took care of that. I gained from that. I grew from that woman. But boy, you done brought a person out in me, and I swear to God, sir, I don't want to hurt you, sir. I really don't. So I want to let the law handle this. I swear to God, I do. I swear swear to God I do, sir. But if I get close to you, sir, or close to your people, Lord, I want them to feel the hurt that I feel. And Dollar General, I just want y'all to know, baby. I just want you to know, Shakoya, Sabrina, Sabrina Diaz that works there. I just want all of y'all to know y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong, and y'all know y'all wrong.
So, gang, listen, I know that was long, and I know it was excruciating, and I know it was uncomfortable, and I know it was painful to listen to, but it was necessary because it is women whose stories like that, women who are at the socioeconomic status of which she occupies, who are of the disability status of which she occupies, who are fat, black, dark skinned women who nobody gives a fuck what happens to them, how they feel. Nobody cares if they cry. Nobody cares if they get stomped out by some man in the front of the fucking store. Nobody's going to call or say nothing. That's why I let that tape go for as long as I did, because she needs to be heard. What happened to her needs to be addressed. Now, I don't know if it needs to be addressed from the law side or if it needs to be addressed from the street side. Whatever side, it needs addressing. And there are so many issues there in that one incident that it's almost hard to get a hold of all of them, right? You have this disabled black woman who I assume is a single mother who's dealing with health conditions, so she has to go out and get a job, per her words, right? You think this lady wanted to face Dollar General customers being a disabled black woman and a single mother? Of course not. She's at that job out of necessity. She's at that low wage paying job out of necessity, right? Because American capitalism, right, requires that of her. This woman also, as she said, risked her life for merchandise from Dollar General. And gang, we don't do that. If you've ever thought about being a company man, a company woman, a company gender non-conforming person, don't do that. It does not pay to be a company person. The corporation doesn't give a fuck about you, doesn't give a fuck about your well-being, your livelihood, your family, or even your health or personal safety. Especially if you are in a retail setting. Do not ever, and I mean fucking ever, put yourself in harm's way in the interest of protecting any corporation's merchandise. Because as hurt as she was by the inaction of the customers and her coworkers, she said that she is such a loyal person. She couldn't believe Dollar General would do her that way. Believe it. Believe it. Loyalty to corporations does not engender reciprocity. Okay. It's not a two-way street. Loyalty is expected of you. If you expect it of your company, they're going to tell you, well, that's just business, right? That's just business. And of course, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, the male attacker. And again, didn't have to be a man, but in this case, it was. In this case, it was. We've seen plenty of stranger on stranger violence, woman on woman stranger violence, male on male stranger violence. But this, where the physical disparity is glaring, where this man was able to get hands on her and get her on the ground so he could stomp her wearing boots. And there are witnesses, by her description, multiple witnesses, by her description, even witnesses that are her coworkers. And nobody intervened, everybody. Nobody intervened. And that is something that I want women at large, but black women in particular, to start to understand. If we don't, and I think many of us already understand this, to expect protection out in the world from men that would be attacking you is a bit of a fantasy. You could fantasize about it. Oh, I'm being followed or accosted or harassed or being abused by some creep on the street. Oh, here come these guys. Oh, they're going to teach him a lesson. They're going to put a stop to this. They're going to rescue me. Don't expect that. Don't expect that. Have every expectation that you may have to defend yourself versus a stranger's attack, even with witnesses around, even in a public space. This is not the first instance, even here on this platform, of which I've covered us specifically involving Black women, in which Black women were attacked on the street. People saw and nobody did shit. Nobody did shit. But then to stonewall the police investigation, allegedly, as this woman claims, that her Dollar General co-workers did, not wanting to give the police a surveillance video. I wasn't clear whether or not the police actually got the surveillance video. And asking her, could she come back to work? Don't do anything fucking extra for any job out here, guys, unless you working for yourself or for your family. You know what I'm saying? Like a job that you got to fill out a motherfucking W-2 for and an I-9 and shit. And they got multiple locations. Fuck them niggas, okay? We don't do nothing extra for them. Nothing extra for them. But guys, this be the shit I be talking about when it comes to what is the society response here. I talk about this, you guys, because again, I'm not crazy. I know I sound crazy, and I know some goofball ass motherfuckers really do think I'm out here trying to do gender wars. A special fuck you to those people, because that's not what this is. Okay, this is about how do we try to reconcile amongst ourselves that we have a problem here. That I can only speak about Black women here in the Black community. I make the content for my community. I let the other communities comment on how that shit looks like in their own respective community amongst Black folks. What happened to this woman obviously is not everyone's experience, but it's also not no one's experience, right? The people did not want to intercede for Big Dez. Why? Because Big Dez apparently is a known menace. I don't know Big Dez, to be clear, but that sister recounting what she has heard about Big Dez, I believe her. And don't nobody want to fool with Big Dez. So what Big Dez get to do? What he get to do? Around Law, Mississippi, what he get to do? He get to punch random woman in the street. I was trying to do a court search on this gentleman's name. It is not easy to search court cases in Mississippi. Maryland, it's very easy to search court cases. Mississippi, I was having some difficulty because I had a hunch. I said, I wonder if this would be this man's first time committing an alleged assault. I have to say alleged here. I don't know this man. I was not a witness to this. I haven't seen any video. I'm relying on the eyewitness testimony of the victim, whose account of the events to me seem extremely credible. I believe her, but I still must say alleged because I don't know firsthand, right? But I suspected that this alleged attacker likely had other incidents of either battery or assault on his record. I wasn't able to find it. And I don't even fully know. I need to go back to this lady's account and see what the resolution was, if there has been any, right? Because when it comes to he said, she said incidents, sometimes those things can go nowhere. Despite the fact that this woman has visible injuries, despite the fact that there was witnesses, if nobody is willing to serve as a witness on her behalf, the police may or may not be able to follow up with the case. And then what? What's the lesson? What's the lesson Big Dez get? What's Big Dez's takeaway? What's Laurel, Mississippi's takeaway? Like, this is the world I don't want for your daughters. I don't want it for me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to be unselfish and shit and think about the fucking kids. I don't want this for little girls. That's not the world I want for them. I don't want this for me. I don't want this for y'all. I don't want this for our mamas, our grandmamas. our granddaughters, those that of us that have them, what can we do to stop this? If there's no consequence, if there's no if there's no legal repercussion, then what? What is the punishment that the community levies towards this man? Does he get shamed? Does he get a beating? Does he get the pew pew? Like what's the remedy? And I know I'm asking a bunch of rhetorical questions here that I guess I should have some solutions to. I mean, you know, my go-to response is we choose Cersei Lannister's way. You know what I'm saying? We choose the Cersei Lannister way. And my sister was on that kind of time at the end of her video. She was about it. But again, because of her situation, because of her position, because of her position as a single mother, as a disabled Black woman, even if she wanted to green light this nigga for some gangster shit, what does that mean for her? What does that mean for her child? It's the violence that I understand that this kind of society helps to foster. And by the way, gender-based violence is not it's not exclusive to America, right? Nations around this globe with varying types of government and economic systems and varied cultures and all that shit have the same issue, have similar issues with gender-based violence. But I can only speak to us. And what do we do? What can we do? And unfortunately, my suggestion for that sister to do self-defense, she did that. She did that. The only thing that could have been within her option bag would have been to escalate. If you picking up what I'm putting down here, right? If she'd have escalated the shit, what that was her only resource, because nobody was getting him up off of her. She had to get him off of her herself, according to her. And I almost said imagine that, but many of us don't even have to imagine that. We don't have to imagine. We do not have to imagine having a man put hands on you and nobody do nothing. That's not something I have to speculate. I don't have to wonder. I don't have to, have my mouth agape in fucking awe and amazement, bewilderment. Nope. I don't want that shit is not shocking to me at all. And that's another reason why I played that woman's tape as long as it was, as excruciating as it was, as over detailed as it was. She needed to be able to tell her story her way, and be believed and be sympathized with and cared for, even virtually online. I love her. I'm sending love to her. I hate that happened to her. I hate that she had to wake up bruised and sore and scarred from an attack at her fucking job over some fucking ice. So please believe Black women. I know there was a story earlier this year, or was it late last year, everybody, with the woman who got smashed upside the head with a brick. And there was a lot of speculation and questioning and doubt about whether or not that was accurate, whether or not that even happened, whether or not this woman was a scammer, whether or not she did it for attention, whether or not others were in on it. That was a very well circulated story and video. And for those that did not believe that woman, some say it was confirmation. See, they be lying. Listen, if it was a lie, I can point to you to 100 other cases that absolutely were not lies, okay? That absolutely were not made up, that absolutely have evidence to back up these claims of assault or abuse or even worse, murder, okay? This notion that women make up stories about domestic violence and rape as the justification as to why women shouldn't be believed is asinine. And it really downplays the prevalence of this kind of abuse, even amongst strangers in our society, even within our communities. And people's reluctance, sometimes justifiably so, to get involved, to do anything. Nobody wanted to tangle with Big Dez at the fucking ice machine at the fucking Dollar General because they knew that nigga was terrible, right? And if he stopped beating on her, he might have turned around and started beating on them. And this is what I ask you: what do we do with the monsters? What do we do with the known menaces? And kids, we already know the police ain't it. We know the police ain't it because the police themselves are the monsters and the menaces, right? Well, shit, some would argue you call a monster to get a monster, right? Maybe. But I feel as though there could be community solutions here. And I don't know how you vet or screen or ask for volunteers or what. I don't know. I mean, I know there's lots of communities that have violence interrupters, people that will try to get involved, particularly in street disputes or in neighborhood disputes before they turn violent. I don't know of such a thing existing. I don't know if I don't know if this particular situation would fall under that. Maybe more on the domestic violence side. Maybe there'd be some sort of for that, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. But at minimum, can we listen to black women? Can we believe black women? Can we just listen to them? Listen, let them tell us what happened and believe them and support them and try to discourage those that would harm us and attack us and be predators against us. So drop it in the comments, y'all. What do we do about the monsters?